August 18th, 2007 was the day all my fears became a reality. It was my first day as a freshman at Wesley Chapel High School. My thoughts were running at about 100 miles per hour, and my heart was just as bad. Will I fall? Is everyone mean to freshmen? Am I going to be alone? Am I not going to know anybody? It was a transition that I didn't think I was ready for. I thought I was still a baby. It was particularly difficult for me to go to high school because I was the first person in my family to attend school in the USA. So they couldn't offer any insight, any advice, or any ideas of how it might be. How do you go from being top dog in middle school to small fries in high school and being surrounded by people who are 2 times older than you in less than 3 months? It was a shock of great proportions, but nonetheless, my first day of high school was pretty interesting. It all started with unrealistic misconceptions, only because my middle school was right next door to my high school. So we would hear rumors such as Freshman Friday, where seniors and upperclassmen would go up to freshmen and throw them in garbage cans, and they were telling everyone this, so people were just so scared to go to high school because, well, we thought we were going to get bullied every day, all the time. Another misconception was the constant bullying and the name calling, because we are the youngest in that school. Obviously, we're easy targets, and sometimes our middle school would go into lockdown because of fights that happened at the high school, which was right next door. We would be put on lockdown because a lot of them involved gang members. So as a kid going from middle school and hearing that people are going into lockdown because there's gang fights at your future school, it's not very good to hear. It's not very motivating. Another misconception that I had was that because it is upper level classes, that teachers wouldn't be as understanding as they were in elementary and middle school. But I thought that they would assign mountains of homework and give pop quizzes. So basically, my misconceptions of high school came a lot from what I've heard and what I've seen on TV, on movies, the popular kids bullying the younger guys that aren't, up to their status. But my day started fairly normal, other than not being able to sleep and waking up at 5 a.m. to do my hair, do my makeup, pick out my outfit, because what you wear your first day is very important. That's what people remembered you by. So I spent hours on what I looked just for one day. I arrived at school. I was hyperventilating, shaking. I was freaking out. I think I cried. I'm pretty sure I cried, and I told my mom that I did not want to go to school. I remember this vividly, actually. And I was a car rider. So we would drive. My mom drove me up to school, and I had to push my way through a whole bunch of people because they didn't give us the room to our first classroom. So we had to look on a piece of paper, find it, and then find our classroom. Well, I found my room, and with my luck, I could not find this room. And the way my high school was set out was there's the main room, for example, 315. There's room 315. And then there's a tiny little room that they use as a closet or extra space, and that's 315A. So I was looking for 315A, not 315. So I'm wandering around, I'm looking everywhere, and I found 315, but not 315A. And I didn't understand what the difference was, and I ran everywhere, and I'm pretty sure I asked the teacher, and they pointed me back to where I was. I would poke my head in there, and I would no, this isn't my class, this is 315, not 315A. Point is, I gave up. I went up to the front office and I told them, I'm lost, I can't find my classroom, I don't understand why it's telling me A when it's just 315. And they had someone walk me back to my new classroom, and sure enough, It was the classroom that was right next door, and I could not see it. So it was embarrassing because I arrived late. Everyone was looking at me. I felt awful. So I got lost a lot. Ran through the entire class. Had a maneuver. But high school wasn't as bad as everyone said it was going to be. The teachers were actually very nice, very helpful, very understanding, because, they do this every year where they see new kids who are freshmen and they need help and they sympathize. So the teachers were very nice, and even the homework amount, I didn't think it was very, very tough. I thought it was doable, and I didn't have a social life because I just went into high school, so I had a lot of time to do my assignments and stuff like that. But what shocked me the most was the amount of activities that they offered in high school to freshmen too was incredible, and definitely took advantage of that. Signed up for a couple of clubs to grow my confidence, meet new people, get acquainted with how the school works. Another thing that I remember about my first day of high school was that I had quite a bit of classes with people I knew from middle school, so I hit the jackpot. Had lunch with people I knew, and funny story, my best friend of 4 years in high school, we had the same schedule for those 4 years, literally the same schedule. If not, like 2 or 3 classes were switched, same lunch, so I really got lucky there. As well, for the upperclassmen, it wasn't bad. No, they don't really pay attention to you. They're too busy with their own lives, trying to graduate, surviving high school. So they really didn't bother the underclassmen. And Freshman Friday was not real. It was a myth, and I found that out after my first day. So I was panicking for no reason. But yeah, my first day was one that I definitely remember vividly, and I definitely would go back and relive it because it was quite an experience. But it's tough to adjust, and it's something you have to do, and it's a chapter that everyone has to experience and live and grow, and it's a part of your life where you develop friendships that last your entire life. It's a great way to basically build up your resume for college as well. But high school wasn't very scary. It was actually pretty awesome. You have to go through the bad and the good in high school, but in the end you enjoy all of it, and it really shapes you to who you are today, and in the end it gives you memories that you hold on to for the rest of your life. So I hope you enjoyed my speech.